Hello, Seawolf's Den, RPGaDay. Once again, I am doing number 11 early so that I can free up my weekend and have everything ready by Monday. This question is probably going to be short. Craziest character name. I mean, I don't remember my character names, many of them, except one. And I don't know if it's crazy or whatever, but it was one of those names. You know, one of those names that you created when you were a high school kid or early college, I think it was. I think it was high school. A friend of mine who has since passed away, a car wreck a few years ago, was named Jim McChrystal. And I dedicate this to him in his memory because he was the one that got me to play D&D for the first time. He introduced me to gaming. So he's a very important person to me. And he stuck with me as a friend, either online, even after I moved away from New Jersey. And I'm glad I got to see him towards the end because his death was pretty shocking. So Jim, this is for you. McChrystal was his last name. I loved that last name. Never told him that. I thought it was a cool name. So I used that as the first name, McChrystal, in a character name for a Powers and Perils game I played. Powers and Perils was the knockoff version of D&D published by Avalon Hill, ironically after they rejected Gary Gygax's pitch to publish his D&D. So Powers and Perils, a very complex, probably overly complex fantasy role-playing game, was being run by a guy named John Tyler, and he is one of the guys that inspired me to GM. He showed me how to do it, and he was fantastic. I will now. He and I didn't end on great terms, but I still think he was one of the best GMs I've ever known. I named a character named McChrystal Dragonstar. I just feel like that's like screams young 80s gamer. McChrystal Dragonstar. I think he was a barbarian. I think he ended up dying because I didn't know the setting well enough, and he was asking me questions about the setting, and I ended up dying. Long story. After which I could not find, I started working a lot. I started working a lot to build up cash to go away to college. So I couldn't go back as often as I wanted to. But John loved that name. He didn't even know Jim McChrystal. But I told him I named it after a friend. So he stole that name. And I still was friends with other people in that gaming group, and they would always come to me and say, I can't believe you gave this guy this name. I hate this character. Because apparently it became the big bad guy that they had to bring down in their campaign, and I was missing the whole thing, mostly because I finally went away to college, and I was getting emails from my other friend Robert, who was playing in that game. And so John Tyler took McChrystal Dragonstar and made him a bad MFer, apparently. Big wizard type character that had, I don't know, I just remember being a magic-based character. I never even knew the story, but all I remember is he was hard to beat, and they hated him. So that's for you, Jim. You're immortalized, at least in some memories, as McChrystal Dragonstar.